Businesses, all glory Srila Prabhupada. I hope you all are well. Welcome you all to His Holy Chandramauli Maharaj's daily call. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So nice. So today's verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 7th chapter and verse number 38. The name of the chapter is Schedule Incarnation with Specific Functions. Should I start sharing screen, Maharaj? Yes, thank you. Oops. Oops, sorry. Let me just come out of the full screen and then I will do it. Yes, now I'm ready. Just give me literally a second. Yes, I'm there. Increasing the font a bit more. Yep.
Okay.
Over to you,
Om
Maharaj.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ya 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 ye swapi satam. Ya ya la ye swapi satam nahare katashun. Pasandino Dvijajanam Risala Nirdevaha Swaha Swada Vasar Itisma Giruna Yatra Shastam Bhavishyati Kalir Bhagavan Yugante. Thereafter, the end of Kali Yuga, where there exists no topics on the subject of God, even at the residence of the so-called saints and respectable gentlemen of the three higher class, and when the power of government is transferred to the hands of ministers elected from the low-born Sudra class, or those less than them, and when nothing is known of the techniques of sacrifice, even by word, at that time the Lord will appear as the supreme chastiser. The symptoms of the worst conditions of the material world at the last stage of this age, called Kali Yuga, are stated herein. The sum and substance of such conditions is godlessness. Even the so-called saints and higher castes of the social orders, generally known as the Dvija Janas, or the twice-born, will become atheists. As such, all of them will practically forget even the holy name of the Lord and what to speak of his activities. The higher caste of society, namely the intelligent class of men, guiding the destinies of the social order, the administrative class of men, guiding the law and order of the society, and the productive class of men guiding the economic development of the society, must all be properly well-versed in knowledge of the Supreme Lord, knowing factually his name, qualities, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, and personalities. The saints and the higher castes of orders of the social society are judged by their proportion of knowledge and the science of God, or tattva gyan, and not by any kind of birthright or bodily designations. Such designations, without a knowledge of the science of God and practical knowledge of devotional service, are considered to be all decorations of dead bodies. And when there is too much inflation of these decorated dead bodies in society, there develop so many anomalies in the progressive peaceful life of the human being. Because of the lack of training or culture in the upper section of the social orders, they are no more to be designated as the Dvija Janas, or the twice-born. The significance of being twice-born has been explained in many places in these great literatures. And again, one is reminded herein that birth, executed by the sex life of the father and mother, is called animal birth, by such animal birth and progress of life on the animal principles of eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating, without any scientific culture of spiritual life, is called the Sudra life, or to be more explicit, the uncultured life of the lower class of men. It is stated herein that the governing power of the society of Kali Yuga will be passed over to the uncultured, godless laborer class of men, and thus their near devas, or the ministers of the government, will be the vrisalas, or the uncultured, lower class men of society. No one can expect any peace and prosperity in human society full of uncultured, lower classes of men. The symptoms of such uncultured social animals are already in vogue, and it is the duty of the leaders of men to take note of it and try to reform the social order by introducing the principles of the twice-born men trained in the science of God consciousness. This can be done by expanding the culture of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. In a degraded condition of human society, the Lord incarnates as Kalki Avatar and kills all the demonic without mercy. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gena Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So everything has a purpose, and human life is purposefully defined as the purpose of human life is to make a solution to all problems of life by engaging in activities of devotion to the Lord, purifying one's consciousness of material desires, of material contaminations, and ultimately reach the platform of God conscious, and at the time of death, no longer have to take birth again in this material world, but goes back home, back to Godhead. That is the purpose of human life. So everything has a purpose, and therefore, God has designed a system by which that purpose can be fulfilled nicely, and especially in Kali Yuga, easily through the chanting of the holy name and through offering one's foodstuffs in sacrifice to the Lord in devotion, hearing about him through the scriptures such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and using one's time, energy, facilities, abilities, intelligence in doing practical activity with a desire to please the Lord by that activity. But here we see the results of this age. Kali Yuga, as it's explained, is an ocean of faults. Kalir doshanidi rajan. It's not only full of faults, it's an ocean of faults. And Prabhupada even indicates in one part of this purport that we're even seeing the symptoms of Kali Yuga in the present society. Now, that was when Prabhupada was here at 50 years ago, back in the 1970s. Now it's becoming much more prominent. Kali Yuga is showing its ugly face, where leaders have no responsibility towards leading people according to what is best for the society. The leaders are greedy, and they are proud, and they are full of programs for a certain class of men. They patronize a certain class who put them in office, or to someone that is doing them some favors, or whoever they like. But in general, even in that, they cannot do any benefit for anyone. Why? Because they're not trained. So they're not twice born. Kshatriyas, the rulers, they also must be twice born, along with the Brahmanas especially. That means they have to take up the process of devotional service. You see, in ages gone by, there was a class of men called Rajarisis. They were so qualified to lead, and they led according to religious principles. And they also they had all Kshatriya qualities. They were expert fighters, expert managers, very compassionate and concerned about the welfare of the people they were ruling. We see even at the beginning of this Kali Yuga, or maybe actually before then, when the Kshatriya class, this was at the end of the previous Yuga, which was the Dwapara Yuga, the Kshatriya class all around the world became proud of their position. And therefore, they exploited people. And what was the result? That the whole society became somewhat topsy-turvy. And therefore, the Lord incarnated as Parasuram, and he killed 21 generations of Kshatriyas. That means 7 generations, 21 times. 21 generations, 7 times, I'm sorry. And then, of course, after that happened, there was no Kshatriya rule on the planet. Practically killed all of the leaders. He came as a very fierce personality with a chopper, and it was simply destroying the leaders. No one could fight with him because he was the Supreme Lord incarnate. And he became so angry at the Kshatriyas that there was nothing left. So what happened was there was some plot to bring back saintly rule on the earth, but how to do that? And so there was the princesses, who were mostly daughters of these Kshatriyas, who were leaders and who were killed, and the sages. So the sages got together and decided, how are we going to bring back saintly rule on this planet? It became their concern. It's the concern, as Prabhupada mentions here, of the Brahminical class to make sure that the administration class is ruling according to religious principles. And if they don't, there has to be some adjustment. So now there's no Kshatriyas, or no leaders. So a plot was made that all of these saintly persons would have union with these princesses and produce a class of progeny, children, that would be a combination of Rajarsis, would be actually Rajarsis, saintly kings. And that was successful. It took many, many decades before it actually manifested. And then saintly rule again became on the earth. This was at the end of Dwapara Yuga. Then you might ask, well, why did Krishna come at that time? Because everything was nice. But just after the saintly rule was established, the demons, there's a class of living beings who are called demons. They're actually born into that culture of asuras. They are against the Lord. And there's planets in different places, especially below the earth, that inhabit such personalities. And so they decided to attack the demigods, and there was a big war in the heavenly planets. And the demigods were defeating the demons nicely. And the demons were thinking, we need to maneuver so we can defeat the demigods. So they decided that they would take birth on Earth and different species of life, and then make a resurgence based on that. So many of them did that, and therefore the whole earth again became polluted. You see all of the different demons that were attacking Krishna when he was in Vrindavan: Bakasura, Agasura, Keshi, Aristasura. What were some of the other demons? So many demons: Palambasura, Vatsasura. All of these took birth on earth, and they were defeated by the king of the demons, that was Kamsa. And Kamsa used these demons to try to kill Krishna in Vrindavan. But because Krishna had descended, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, when there is, as we see it also in this verse, when there is a significant decline in religious principles and a very great rise in demoniac leaders, or even population becomes demoniac, then the Lord comes. So that was the situation which brought about Krishna's advent at the beginning of the age of Kali, right at the end of Dwarka. It was actually the end of Dwarka Yuga. And when Krishna left the planet, then Kali Yuga came in. That was around that same period. And so the Lord manages the material world when it gets unmanageable. He comes. So you might ask him, well, we see here at the end of Kali Yuga, it is so bad that there's no chanting, no sacrifices, no puja, no religion at all, just simply godlessness. Then he comes as a very different type of incarnation. He's called Kalki Avatar. Kalki is described in the 12th canto, where he will be born and what his father's name is and what his mission is. Yeah. He will be born, let me see, where is he? Some area of Kashmir, I think, in that area somewhere. And he will be, his father will do his name Vishnu Yasif. And he will be a Kshatriya. He'll ride on a horse, and with a very sharp sword, he will travel and just kill all the demons wholesale. Haribol. Those of you who like excitement, you can stick around and watch the action. But Srila Prabhupada doesn't recommend we do that, because you might get put into the same category as the demons. So, of course, there will be hardly any devotees left at the end of Kali Yuga. And if there's any devotees left, they'll be hiding underground, because the whole world will be so polluted. So the Lord comes, and then after killing the demons, he will again reestablish religious principles, and then the new age, Satya Yuga, will again appear. But you might ask, well, even now we see in Kali Yuga, it's so many problems, so many faults. So where is the incarnation of the Lord in this age? Well, therefore it says, Kalir Doshanidi Rajan, Asti Eko Mahagun, Kirtana Eva Krishya Mukta Sangam Padam Bhajan. We don't really understand the power of the holy name of Krishna. If we did, we'd be chanting it 24 hours a day, because it is so complete, so powerful. It is Krishna directly in his full manifestation as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of the qualities, all of the pastimes, all of the names, the forms, all of the attributes, everything is within the name of Krishna. Now, Krishna's name is the supreme incarnation in this age, and Lord Chaitanya is the giver of that, who is Krishna himself. So in this age, we are blessed with Lord Chaitanya, who comes not to kill the demons like Krishna did when he was in Vrindavan. When Krishna was in Vrindavan, they would come to Vrindavan, and Krishna would just play with them and then dispatch them to the abode of Yamaraj. And he would laugh and have fun with that. Kalki wasn't the same. He wasn't laughing. He was angry. Parasuram was also very angry. But chanting of the holy name is the way to kill the demoniac mentality within our own consciousness. It says that we have little Hiranyakashipus running around inside of us. And they're not like the full-blown Hiranyakashipus. We are somewhere in between Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu, because we still have desires to enjoy this material world, and that is an indication of the Hiranyakashipu consciousness. And so, if we chant the holy names of the Lord, not only do we benefit ourselves, purify ourselves from all of these Hiranyakashipus that are giving us information how to enjoy this material world, but we will also benefit everyone that is connected with us and beyond. So this chanting of the holy name is the Yuga Dharma in this age and the means for attaining the spiritual world at the time of death. So this is also mentioned here in this purport, which Satyabhama has taken away, and I can't see anymore. So, somewhere in the purport here, where it was to talk about the holy name, go down the page, I think it is. Right there, yeah, stay there, somewhere in that. Prabhupada said, expanding the culture of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. Let's see, before then, it also mentions the chanting of the holy name. Somewhere in there. Okay, we'll go down one little bit more. There you go, stop. As such, all of them will practically forget even chanting of the holy name, yeah. So as soon as the holy name is no longer chanted, the whole place will go to hell. Because that's the only hope in this age. Like that. He said go down. Well, maybe there's mentioned also. That's going up. Yeah. Anyway, we know that the chanting of the holy name is the means, and it's the incarnation of God in this age. So we have to take full shelter of the holy name. Chanting 16 rounds will protect you to a certain degree, but to elevate your consciousness to the spiritual platform, you need to chant more. This chanting is recommended as Satatam Kirtayan Tomam, that here we have a special mercy in the form of Lord Chaitanya's deliverance of his own holy name in such a way that simply by chanting we can purify ourselves. But the Acharya says Satatam. Satatam means always. Constantly chanting the holy names of the Lord. So you might ask, well, how is that possible? Well, it's possible through two things. One, a strong desire to do it, and two, practice. If we don't have the strong desire to chant, then the practice won't manifest. Therefore, we have to understand that here is not only the benediction of this age, but it is the means to overcome all forms of anomalies, difficulties, catastrophes, and give complete and full protection through the chanting of the holy name. So chant as much as you can and try to chant more and more and more. Make a vow. Oh, I'm chanting 16 rounds, but why just stop at 16? Let me chant 20 rounds or maybe 32 rounds. But of course, leave enough time so you can perform other spiritual activities such as reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which is emphasized here by Srila Prabhupada at the very end of the purport, which we can't see because of some. Go down to the end of the purport. Yeah, here. This, he says here, the symptoms of such uncultured social animals are already in vogue. So it's happening now. It's the duties of the leaders of men to take note and go for social reformation. This can be done by expanding the culture of Srimad Bhagavatam all over. Bhagavatam is Amalam Purana. It deals with the name, fame, form, qualities, pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with his pure devotees. It is called Paramahansa Samhitam. It's the highest of all forms of spiritual literature. And simply by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, one can associate with Krishna directly in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam is living. It is not simply words on a paper. It is actually alive. Therefore, we actually sometimes we take the Bhagavatam, we place it on the altar, we put a garland around it, and we also do puja to the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is Krishna in transcendental sound vibration, non-different. Okay, so these are the certain things. So this Kali Yuga is what it is. It's just an age of degradation. You might say, well, there's so many plans to make things better. Please don't get into this idea that things are going to get better here, at least on the material platform. It's only going to get worse. And that's already predicted. It's just the nature of this age. It'll go down, down, down. But at the same time, spiritual activities will also increase and bring more and more living entities free into that area where they are free from the effects of Kali Yuga. So that's the bright light in this age is bhakti, emphasized with the chanting of the holy names. So it's our duty to become Krishna conscious, and it's our duty to also make others Krishna conscious. And the process is not hard. It's just applying sufficient amount of time and energy in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord and taking opportunities to associate with devotees. We are now in the Northern Hemisphere, at least those of you who are in Europe and United States, the weather is getting warmer now. It's coming up to summertime, and there will be so many opportunities for association all around the world. Take advantage of that. Don't simply go to the beach and try to make yourself look a little bit like an Indian by getting some suntan. Go if you go to the beach, then have kirtan on the beach and invite all of the other beach people to join into the kirtan. That you can do. And that's also great service to preach to people in general in whatever way you can. So it's a very interesting time. and it's a very difficult time at the same time, but because of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya coming in the form of the holy name, we can rise above all of this and actually find transcendental happiness in our life through the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Krishna Smarnam, hearing and chanting and remembering Sri Krishna, and propagating these same activities to the conditioned souls, bringing more and more of Krishna's lost children back into the fold underneath the shelter of their eternal Father in devotional service. It's a great service, and everyone should take it up to whatever degree they can. Okay, so this is the only hope in Kali Yuga. There is no other hope. There's no program to make this world any better, although there are many programs that they label will make the world better. None of them are going to work. In fact, it'll just make things worse because they don't know the formula. The formula is that the human life is meant for God realization. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhu Maharaj. So nicely you have explained the end of Kali Yuga and appearance of Kalki, Lord Kalki. Devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realization, please unmute yourself and ask. If you can't speak, then please type it in the chat and I can read it for you. It'll be nice to have a cameras on if you can. So there is a question already from Abhishek Prabhu. I'll read it for you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. My question is not of the today's topic, but I am reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And in 1:16:31, end of purpose, Srila Prabhupada has written that author of Ramcharitra Manas, Tulsidas, also supported the false birthright claim. Is it a comment, Prabhu, or a question that you want to check? Abhishek Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes. It's actually my question that means I didn't understand. Please ask me guidance.
Well, he supported the idea that people who take birth in a particular family are of that nature, and therefore they can have a right to work according to that. In other words, if you're born in a Brahmin family, you're a Brahmin. You're born in a Kshatriya family, but it's not by janma, it's by guna. It's by qualities. So people require training in the activities of their varna in order for that to come out. Therefore, in Kali Yuga, it says, Kalo Sudra Sambhavan. Everybody in this age is born Sudra because of the nature of the age. And therefore, if one wants to develop according to their particular varna, they must be trained in that varna and not simply adopt it because of birthright. Just because your father's a doctor, you're born in the family of a doctor, doesn't mean you're a doctor. You have to qualify yourself. No one will, you can hang out your shingle and say, I'm a doctor, but nobody will come because you're not qualified. Same with any of the occupations that people take according to Varna. It's not by birth, it's by guna, by karma, by qualities. So what Tulsidas is saying is that he's supporting this same principle, that it's not by birth, it's by karma.
Actually, Srila Prabhupada also wrote that Tulsidas supported the false birthright claim, means we did not support it by karma. Actually, I didn't understand how.
I didn't catch the statement. Did anyone catch that?
Prabhu, do you want to type it? It's not clear.
No, he can speak it again. Speak it.
Okay, try and speaking again, Prabhu. Thank you.
Just speak it a little slower. Yeah.
Unmute yourself, Prabhu.
The accent is very strong.
You need to unmute
My
yourself.
voice is coming.
That's good.
Okay. Maharaj, it is here written that Tulsidas accepted the false birthright claim. Means it's just like Srila Prabhupada says that one is not a Kshatriya by his bond, but one is Kshatriya by his qualities. But here it is written that Ramcharitmanas author Tulsidas neglected qualified and false birthright claim is supported. Mataji, can you please share the slok so that it will be easy for Maharaj?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. 116, what, 31?
116:31. I'll share it. It's here.
Hare Krishna. Something wrong?
Yes, this is where it is, isn't it, Prabhu? Oh, sorry. I thought I'm sharing it.
You're not sure.
I opened it and I thought I'm sharing. Sorry. It's here.
Okay, so let's read the verse anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, go down the system. He's talking about the scientific system of Varnashram. Okay. In the age of Kali, the first attack of the venomous snake strikes against the god-made Varnashram Dharma. Thus, a person properly qualified is called a Sudra, and the Sudra by qualification is passing on a Brahman, all on a false birthright claim. To become a Brahmana by a birthright claim is not at all bona fide, although may be fulfillment of one of the conditions. But the real qualification is to control the mind and senses, and tolerance, simplicity, cleanliness, knowledge, truth, devotion, faith, and Vedic wisdom. In the present age, consideration of the necessary qualification is being neglected, and the false birthright claim is being supported even by a popular, sophisticated poet, the author of Ramacharita. This is all due to the influence of Kali. Okay, so what Prabhupada is saying is that Tulsidas is supporting this false claim. Yeah. So what can we say? We accept what Prabhupada says because Prabhupada is a self-realized soul. So you have so although this Ramcharitammanas is also filled with impersonalism also. The qualifications of Tulsidas, as far as there's a mind concerned, is a very poetic and very beautiful expression of the Ramayana. But he indicates certain things that are, what we say, not up to the same understanding of the personality of God. He puts impersonal things in there also. But people like these literatures, and therefore he's become popular because of that. We accept Valmiki's version of the Ramayana. Valmiki was trained by Lord Brahma himself. And therefore, Valmiki Ramayana is the actual authorized Ramayana and not Tulsidas's.
I hope that helps, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So yeah, Tulsidas obviously is off.
Any other questions, devotees? So while we're waiting, Maharaj, I had a question about this verse is it says that end of the Kali, so that is the total age of 4,300,000 years. And as Srila Prabhupada predicted that this moment, ISKCON moment will, will go at about for 10,000 years. So is it only, Krishna consciousness will stay only for 10,000, initial 10,000 years of the whole of so long of Kali Yuga? Because Kali Yuga is so long, like, devotees will be, people will be without Lord consciousness, Krishna consciousness, so many years.
This is Kali Yuga. It's the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Lord Chaitanya has brought in what is called the golden age within the age. 5,000 years up, 5,000 years down. After 10,000 years, it'll be back to Kali Yuga full force again. So Prabhupada would say, and I just heard him say recently, don't take birth again. Try to finish in this life. It's only going to get worse. But 10,000 years means when Lord Chaitanya appeared in 1486. You calculate 5,000 years from that. So what is 5,000 years from 1486? Is the year 6,000 something.
486, yeah.
So at that, it'll reach its peak. And then after that, it'll go back down slowly till it's back down to nothing anymore. You have to understand that the material energy is always bringing things down, 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 down. And this is very significant for our own advancement. If you're not working diligently to practice your Krishna consciousness, you're going to again be affected by the material energy. Can't take it easy and expect to make progress. You have to be very serious and what we say regular in your practice of Krishna consciousness. It can't be done whimsically. It can't be done occasionally. It has to be done according to how it's meant to be done and continuous. Because the material energy pushes you the other way. It's the nature of this material world. It's like a river that runs in a certain direction. And to practice Krishna consciousness means to swim against the current. But what makes it nice is that you have association of devotees, the process of Krishna consciousness. Then everything becomes wonderful if you take full benefit of what's available. Otherwise, they say, just like there's fish. A fish, when people go fishing, they want to catch fish. So where do they catch the fish? The fish that are swimming close to the surface. But the little fish, they swim close to the surface. The big fish go deep into the ocean. Therefore, they're always safe. So if we're like the little fish, we can get picked off by Maya very easy. Therefore, you have to go deeper into Krishna consciousness to become free from the effects of this raging river of material contamination, which is all around, especially in Kali Yuga, which accepts irreligious principles as being religious principles. This is a very bad age, very bad. Very bad.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Because we're devotees, we're not seeing everything. But if you go a little bit outside, you can see people are suffering like crazy. There's war all around the world, many places now. People are being killed. Even as we're speaking right now, people are being killed in war. Pestilence, diseases, economic crunches, struggles to maintain one's everywhere it's like that. This is Kali Yuga. You can't expect the winter time to be warm. Yeah, the winter time is cold because it's winter. Kali Yuga is bad because it's Kali Yuga.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mara. That's very helpful. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Raj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Maharaj. Devotees. Raj, you're talking about sharing Krishna consciousness. We see that Krishna, he either puts words in the mouths of the devotees, he speaks, communicates through the mouths of the devotees and inspires them to act in certain ways sometimes, which does encourage, inspire, attract others. What is it that brings Krishna to speak through the mouth of a certain devotee?
Well, if we're repeating what we hear, that's one thing. But then there are devotees who are empowered. Krishna Shakti Vinana He Tad Pavartanam. Those who are empowered by Krishna, they can spread Krishna consciousness around the world. So that means their devotion is fixed and their focus is to serve the Lord by speaking about the glories of the Lord to the conditioned souls. They've made that their service. They are the spiritual masters. They are the sannyasis. And they could be anybody in different areas. But those who have focused on the goal, which is to become Krishna conscious and to make others Krishna conscious. So Krishna empowers these persons, and when they speak, they have potency.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu. Revati Mataji, I'll take your question. There is one from Narsing Lalam Mataji. I'll just read that.
No. Take Revati first.
Okay, Revati Mataji, please go
The
ahead.
chats we can do at the end,
Okay,
but there's no more questions.
sure.
Hi Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hi Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for this class. So I just have follow-up on Satyabhama Mataji's question. Even that question strike me. As you mentioned, end of the Kali Yuga, there will be no chanting. So like devotees or practicing, like doing pure devotees or doing sadhana, that means we should understand their consciousness will go down, like at the end of Kali Yuga.
If you read about the symptoms of Kali Yuga, it says the average lifespan will be between 20 and 25 years of age. The devotees will be hunted like animals, and many of them will hide underground because of the age is so bad. So it doesn't mention in this particular purport about the devotees, but Prabhupada has spoken, and you'll find it in other areas of the 12th canto, that the devotees will be hiding just to keep alive because it'll be so bad. And there won't be many devotees either. Most people will be demons. People will be eating their own children. That's mentioned there also. They're even doing it now, what to speak about later.
Yeah.
Because there'll be nothing to eat. And so they'll just have children, and then that will be, prashad. Not prashad, but food. Hey, well, you just read the 12th canto. Bhagavatam is prophecy. It's not simply some fictional story to get you excited. No, it's what it is. It's
Mhm.
read the 12th canto. The symptoms of the age of Kali, it's all mentioned. I
Mhm.
think it's in chapter 2 or 3 of the 12th canto.
Okay. Yeah. I'll read it, Guru Maharaj. So it's a Krishna's Maya is like it's a Krishna's external energy only. So we should understand this as a Krishna's plan.
Krishna's plan is to make everyone Krishna conscious, but he gives the living entities their independence. So they work against his plan, and then they make their own, and they make their own hell on earth. That's all. He doesn't interfere with your independence, but he wants you to become Krishna conscious. That's his plan. He's not planning that Kali Yuga be like that, but because we don't follow Krishna, we create this hell. That's all.
Mm. Okay.
We have our independence. He won't interfere with that. Otherwise, there's no question of love. Love means voluntary. He could force everyone to become Krishna conscious, and he will. When it gets so bad, he will just come as Kalki and finish up all the demons and everyone, and then he'll usher in the new age of Satya Yuga. And then the golden age will appear again after Kali Yuga.
Mm.
This is the shortest of all the ages. It's only 432,000 years. All of the other ages are much longer in time.
Mm. Yeah. So it's very important to be Krishna conscious and just follow the principles. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can, otherwise you suffer.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Material life means suffering. That's what it's meant for. Just like you may have been exposed to certain movies about dinosaurs. You've seen dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus, and so those animals are not fictitious. They're real. They come at the end of Kali Yuga also. Monstrous animals that eat everything, including people.
Mhm.
You want to stick around and see what the movie is like? You might be a victim in the movie. So the idea is don't waste time. Finish your business in this life and go back to Godhead. And that way you can free yourself from all of this horror that is coming on by the age of Kali. It's a very difficult and dark age.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, read the 12th canto. Just that explains everything.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I'll read it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Revati Mataji. Is there any other questions? I'll pick up Nursing Lila Mataji's question. Hare
Okay.
Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, you just said that we cannot take Krishna consciousness easily. Sometimes I feel that purification is going faster than I can digest. Very often I feel it as a special mercy, but often I just have the need to slow down. But if I slow down, I am again in old patterns. To digest it, what do I lack? Is it more endeavor, surrender, or something else?
Too fast for you, huh? It's too fast because we're still attached to this material world. That's why. But it's never too fast. It's just our attachments make it seem like it's too fast. But if you feel like it's going too fast, then sadhu sangha, take association with devotees, and find happiness in devotee association.
I hope that answers your question, Asilila Mataji.
Yeah. Well, there are people who say that. They hate, and it says one should not hate illumination. That's in the Bhagavad Gita. That now I'm making progress and I'm getting realizations, and then I'm realizing my material life is useless, no good, but still I like it. So it's too fast. Not so fast, Krishna. Give it to me in smaller increments, then I can. He'll do that if you want that. He'll slow the process down for you if that's what you really want. But we take these experiences as what we say quantitative leaps in our spiritual practice. But Krishna is very kind. But if you want to slow down, he'll allow it. But again, as you said, if you slow down, your old patterns start coming back again. So just hang on to Krishna's lotus feet, that's all. Don't let go. That means to remember him as much as you can. That's hanging on.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I've got one question, Guru Maharaj, on one of the Matajis, I think, asked. And you mentioned that we should try and bring the Lord's children back to Him and we should try and preach. So does our success depends on that how many we get, how many people we get connected to Krishna consciousness, or is our success is based on our, like, I know the more you preach, the more you purify oneself. But does it really depend on our preaching? Our success depends on our preaching.
Because the movement is geared, it's a preaching movement, not geared to simply become like many religious societies. They're just happy with their own spiritual advancement. We're not, because the whole movement is geared to, Prabhupada said the whole movement is geared to making the whole world Krishna conscious. That's Lord Chaitanya's plan. So we're following Lord Chaitanya's plan, who are teaching that plan through his pure devotees. Prabhupada said there's two types of devotees. One who is happy with their own spiritual advancement, and those who want to make others Krishna conscious. He said the second ones are the ones that get the special mercy of the Lord. And it's hard to become Krishna conscious without somehow reaching it out to others and sharing it with others. You can do it, but it's harder. You have to be really, really fixed in your sadhana to do it.
Then how do we stay patient with this process, Guru Maharaj? That, whatever happens, happens. Whoever comes, comes. Doesn't come, doesn't come. As in, because sometimes it feels that definitely result is in Krishna's hands, but sometimes we feel that either we are leaking in our knowledge or either we are leaking in our sadhana, our bhakti, our mercy, empowerment.
Just engage in devotional service, and everything will come. Yeah, patience means we have to somehow or other realize that the results don't come immediately. But still, we still can find satisfaction and happiness in our service simply by serving. So that's enough to keep the devotee connected.
Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj.
Everything depends on Krishna's mercy.
And Guru's mercy.
Okay, so we stop here and chant some rounds? Is that?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I have time today, so I can chant for a while.
That's nice. I'll start sharing the screen. Sorry, Guru Maharaj, I'm just looking for that presentation. I think because I'm logged in from the different laptop. Just give me a few minutes. I will. Okay. Found it.
Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare.